Hello, Amber here, and today we're going to do a little yoga practice to help ease back pain and tension. Again, I'm not a doctor, this is not a cure-all, and if you have any special injuries or requirements or contraindications, then I always suggest that you check with your doctor or health practitioner or therapist or anyone you might be working with to make sure that these practices are okay for you. Otherwise, you just listen to your body and play around with it as you go and try to find something that feels good for you. So for today's practice, we're going to come on over here, and a blanket's good to have. You don't have to have one, but ideally it is a nice, it doesn't have to be like exactly like this one, just something that you can use for your practice, mostly just for comfort, and there are different ways you can use that. But if you don't have one, it's not that big a deal. You could still do today's practice. A block, you do want to have a block for today. We're going to do a specific thing with the block. But again, if you don't have a block, you can use like stack a couple books or use a similar type of object in its place. And as we go, you'll see what we do, and you can kind of get creative with that. I also have this here. This again is not a must, but this is just a little knee pad thing that you can place under your knees. If you have a blanket, you could just use your blanket for it as well, so you don't have to have this. But for certain poses, and you'll see as we go, I'll show you, sometimes it can be helpful to have this to place under your knees, especially if you know that you're someone who has any tenderness or any sensitivity in your knees when we do lunges and things like that. But again, just use what you have, work with what you have, and do the best you can with that. No pressure here, just ideas. So for today, we're going to actually start sitting on your knees. You can always place either your blanket or your knee pad, depending on what you have underneath your knees. So what we're going to do is just take your hands to your lower back and draw your shoulders back, draw your shoulder blades together, lift up through your chest, lengthen up through the crown of your head. If you start to shift your hips forward a little bit at a time, and draw your shoulder blades together, just coming into a little modified camel to get us started here. So just a little baby back bend. It's our first one of the practice, so definitely take your time. Don't force this. Just a little bit can go a long way. Make sure that you're not pinching your lower back. So the back bends tend to happen more in our mid or thoracic spine rather than our lower lumbar spine. So sometimes I even like to place a hand or two here on my lower back just to make sure I'm not pinching that area. And then open through your chest, take a breath in and out. Inhale, come back up. And then from here, let's just come to find a comfortable seat. Again, if you have a blanket, you might sit on that. But if not, that's okay. And just come to, for most of us, it'll be a cross-legged seat, but just find a seat that works for you. Sitting with the crown of your head lengthening up towards the ceiling, sitting bones rooting down towards the earth, sitting with a tall, upright spine, finding a good posture here. Posture is a key element to our back health, to taking care of our spine. Just take a few moments here to find that posture, and then if it feels a little too stiff, let it relax. Let your shoulders relax down away from your ears. If you want, you can even close your eyes for a moment here, and just take a few moments as we check in and focus on our breath. Start to connect with our breath. So just take a deep breath in through your nose. Just notice anything you're feeling right now, any tension, any stress, perhaps any uncertainty that you might be feeling at this time. And just sit with it. Exhale, big sigh out through your mouth. Just kind of dump that out, release it out, let it go. It's our lion's breath. We'll do it one more time. Just take a deep breath in through your nose. And exhale, a big sigh out through your mouth. Let it loose. From here, we'll move into your steady, rhythmic breath through your 4-count breath. And just gently breathe in and out through your nose. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Breathe in. Breathe out. just try your best to stay with this steady, even breath throughout the practice today. And as we sit here connecting to this breath, just take a moment to set an intention for the practice. So intention can be anything that feels uplifting or positive to you that you would like to focus on today. Perhaps in focusing on releasing back pain, maybe try to take a moment to notice anywhere you might feel tension or pain in your back, whether it's your upper or your lower back. Maybe it's more like around your shoulders and that part of your upper back, wherever it is today. Or if you're not, just notice any tension you're feeling in your body, and maybe set your intention to consider how you might choose to take really good care of yourself. Not just today, but at all times, but maybe even just through this practice, really focus on letting this practice be the starting place of a place of self-care for you. Or anything else that you feel is needed, anything else that feels uplifting to you that you would like to focus on for your intention at this time. And as we sit with this breath and this intention, if your eyes are closed, you may go ahead and open them. Inhale, reach your arms overhead, stretch your fingertips up to the sky, really lengthen your fingertips up, reach as high as you can. Exhale, send your right hand down to the floor, left arm reaches up and over into a side body stretch. Try your best to keep your hips grounded towards the floor here. Take a breath in, opening along the side of your body. Take a breath out. Inhale, come back up. And exhale, take it to the other side. Take a breath here. Inhale, come back up again, and exhale, release your arms down to the side. And roll your shoulders up by your ears, and just roll them down and back, and just do that a few more times here on your own, rolling your shoulders up and back. And then just allow your shoulder blades to relax down your back. Inhale, tilt your chin up towards the sky. Pause for a moment here. Feel a little stretch along the front of your neck. And then come back through center. Exhale your chin down to your chest, chest to your chin. This time feeling that stretch along the back of your neck, shoulders relax down, still away from your ears. Breathe in. As you breathe out, just begin to slide your chin over toward your right shoulder. You can pause for a moment here, maybe tilt your head back a little more if and only if that feels good to you. Just kind of feel it out. And then eventually you'll make your way back down through center and over to the other side. And just take your time. Eventually, you'll make your way back through to center. When you get there, just let us lift your chin back up to neutral. And then from here, you can scoot off your blanket if you're sitting on one or anything like that. Slide your feet behind you and make your way onto your hands and knees for your tabletop. So you can always put a blanket under your knees if you prefer. Fingers spread wide, shoulders over your wrists, hips over your knees. And then we'll come right into cat and cow. Inhale, look forward, abs relax down towards the earth, tailbone lengthens up into your cow. And exhale, draw your navel in toward your spine. You gaze down towards your navel. Okay, tailbone towards the earth for cat. Inhale, shift forward, sway forward into your cow. And exhale to gently round into your cat. Just continue to flow through these cat and cow movements a few more times here. Cat and cows are a great way to kind of warm up your spine, release any tension or pressure there. This is often a practice I'll do in the morning. Even if I don't have a lot of time, if I'm feeling some stiffness or some pressure in my back after sleeping all night, sometimes I'll just do a few of these cat and cows and I'll notice that it helps them. So from here, make your way back to your tabletop, back to your hands and knees. We're going to send it, come into a little side child's pose. So start to sink your hips back, but take them, slide over to your hips over to the left side of your mat as you walk your hands out over to the right side of your mat. Moving to a little side child's pose. Take a couple of breaths here for a moment. Just let your head rest towards the earth. And inhale, come back up, and then we'll do the same thing on the other side. Start to walk your hands out to the left side of your mat. You slide your hips over to the right and take a couple of breaths here. Breathe in and out. And then from here we'll come back up and then sink your seat to your heels for regular child's pose. So any variation here is fine. So your knees might be close together or they might be further apart. Maybe stretch your arms out front or form a little pillow with your hands, or even take your hands out to the side, curling up like a ball here. Whatever feels good to you, just take a few moments here with your breath. Find a place of stillness in your child's pose. Going back to the here and now. So even if maybe the future feels a little bit uncertain, you're not sure what's going to happen, all you really have right now is the present right here. So just acknowledging what is okay at this time, what is okay right now, and just breathing, relaxing into this moment. Feeling that nice stretch along your shoulders, your upper back, lengthening your spine. Then press down to the palms of your hands. Inhale, come back up to your tabletop. From here, we'll curl your toes under, figure spread wide, and lift up to downward facing dog. Forming an upside down V with your body. It might be your first one of the day, so feel free to kind of walk it out a little bit. Maybe shake your head yes or no. Just any little movement, stretches that feel good to you. Just check in for a moment, feel it out. Just kind of find your downward facing dog. You might grab your knee pad if you have one, or your blanket, and go ahead and grab your block while you're here as well. Have those available to you. And then from your downward dog, let's inhale, lift your right leg up. So find your 3-leg downward dog, stretch that leg back towards the wall behind you. And inhale, slide your foot forward, knee over your ankle, coming into a low lunge. Exhale, lower your back knee. You can always slide something under the knee if you'd like, your blanket or your knee pad. Inhale, sweep your arms overhead. Come to your low lunge. Maybe even sink your hips a little bit forward. Let's take another breath in. And exhale your hands down to the earth. And this time we're going to start to extend that front leg. So straighten your leg as much as you can. Check that your hips are level and facing forward. So I like to place my hand on that hip. And then from here, inhale, lengthen your spine, and then exhale, begin to come forward. You can take your hands to the floor, or sometimes I like to take a block. You could even use 2 blocks here, one on each side. I find that 1 block under the hand and then 1 block under your hip is fine here. And just remember, we're hinging your hip, so make sure there isn't any pressure in your back. Make sure there isn't any pain here, but you do want to go where you feel a stretch in your hamstring. So having tight hamstrings or tension in your hamstrings can sometimes be a contributing factor for back pain. So that's why we're doing this today. So let's just take one more breath in wherever you're at. It's called half splits. And one more breath out. And then begin to bend your knee. And you can set your stuff off out of the way for a moment. Come back to your lunge and step back to downward facing dog. And then other side, inhale, lift your leg up. 3-leg downward dog, take a breath out there, and inhale, slide it forward. Exhale, lower that back knee. Maybe place something underneath it. Inhale, sweep your arms overhead. Make sure that front knee's over your ankle. Take another breath in. And exhale, hands down to the earth. And then again, we'll set up here for our half split. So check that your hips are level as you start to extend that front leg. And maybe you don't have to use a block here, but it definitely, if you feel a lot of tension, you can take your block. And just do what you can. You don't have to, some people say ideally your head's touching your knee. I am not going to be doing that today. You don't have to either. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. Just go where you feel the stretch. Let's take one more breath here. And then inhale, shift forward back to your lunge. And step back again to downward facing dog. Walk it out if you want, or maybe you find a place of stillness this time around. Take another breath here. Inhale, lift your heels off the earth. Exhale to bend your knees. Inhale, step your feet forward to meet your hands. And exhale, forward fold. Take a couple breaths here for a moment. Always put a bend to your knees if you want to here, or straighten your legs. And then press down to your feet. Inhale, gently roll it all the way up to standing. Inhale, sweep your arms overhead. And exhale, send your hands behind you. Just clasp your hands behind your back. Try to squeeze your shoulder blades together, opening up through your chest. Take a breath in. And exhale, release, shake it out. And then find your mountain pose. So this pose is kind of simple. Most of you are familiar with it, but pose is super important for our posture, which is important for the health of our spine. So really, feet parallel to one another. They can be close together or up to hip width apart, but really try to root down through the soles of your feet while also lengthening up through the crown of your head. Shoulders relaxed down and back, chest lifted. Palms of your hands can be facing each other or the world in front of you. Quadriceps slightly engaged, navel drawn slightly in to support your spine. Everything's neatly stacked. So find really good posture here, again with your upright spine. And then you breathe here in our mountain pose, Tadasana. I want you to take a moment to consider how you might be able to find this more in your everyday life, in your everyday practice, whether you're walking down the street, maybe you're waiting in line at the grocery store, whatever you're doing, finding some semblance of mountain pose incorporated. So if you notice your shoulders rolling forward, your chin coming forward, if you're ever in doubt, just slide your chin, slide your shoulders, slide all that stuff back a little bit, and then lengthen up while rooting down. Try to find that good posture and see if it helps improve the health and the feeling of your spine. And take another breath here. Inhale, sweep your arms overhead. Exhale, dive it back down. Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, look up to a flat back. Exhale to fold. Inhale, roll back up to standing. Sweep your hands up to the sky. And exhale, dive back down again. Uttanasana. Inhale, look up to your flat back. And exhale to fold. And then from here, we'll bend your knees however much you need to. So just place your hands on the floor beside your feet and step back once again to downward facing dog. Take a couple of breaths here. Feel free to stretch or move or to find some stillness. Continue the steady rhythmic breath. You come back to your intention. How are you using this practice to take care of you? Take one more breath in. And then exhale to lower your knees down to the floor. And then from here, we're actually going to lower all the way down onto your stomach. I'll give everyone a few moments to get there. Lower all the way down onto your stomach from here. And then take your hands out in front of you. Come onto your forearms. So we're going to make a little kickstand with your arms. Shoulders over your elbows. Shoulders relax down and back. So if they start to slide forward, try to draw them down and back. Navel's drawn in just a little bit to support your spine. Glutes and legs can be relaxed. Coming into our Sphinx pose. So this is a little baby back bend to get us started here. Really good for back pain. One of my colleagues, Mary, refers to this or has referred to this before as free back therapy. And I do find that whenever I practice this pose, it gently helps release pressure in my lower back. So this is one that I like to show because it's pretty accessible. Most of us can do this one safely. So just take a few moments here and just take a couple breaths, take a quiet space to enjoy the simplicity of the pose. In. And then exhale, bring your chest a little bit forward if you can and gently lower all the way back down. And then from here, we'll take your hands back so your thumbs are in line with your ribs. Press the tops of your feet into the floor. Draw your shoulder blades together on your back as you start to lift your chest up into your cobra. And just any kind of cobra here is fine, high or low. Just take a breath in, feel it out, really feel the shoulder blades draw together on your back. And then exhale, lower back down. Do that again. Inhale, lift back up, but this time just come into a low baby cobra. And see if you can lift your hands off the floor. Even just half an inch is fine, just a tiny bit. So you're really engaging those back muscles. It's going to help strengthen the muscles of your back here, coming into your cobra pose. Take another breath in. If you think about it, cobra in real life doesn't have arms, right? So we're imitating, we're emulating that, whatever you want to call it. Exhale, release, lower back down. And then let's do this again. We're going to do a different option. So take your arms out to the side. We're going to do what's called a funky cobra. Take your arms out to the side. Come on to your fingertips. Elbows over your wrists. And then from here, just start to press your fingertips into the floor. Draw your shoulders back still. You lift your chest up into funky cobra. Any amount's fine here. So I'm going to do this from a different angle to show you guys as well. So this is kind of from the front what it's going to look like here as you're lifting up this way. Does that make, if that makes sense? And this is just another option, kind of funky cobra. Sometimes I find that can lift up higher, but really try to engage your core here too so that you're not putting any pressure on your lower back. Exhale, release, lower back down. Take a moment. Do one more cobra of your choice. So high, low cobra, funky cobra, whatever you want to do. Inhale, lift back up into your cobra. And exhale, release, lower back down. And just rest your chin to one side. Take your arms to the side. And then from here, take a couple of breaths, take a moment. Inhale to lift everything you can from this position. So lift your arms, lift your legs, crown of your head lengthens forward. Feet reach back, coming into locust pose. And draw your shoulder blades together on your back. Exhale, lower, release down, rest your chin to the opposite side. Take a breather, take a moment here. And then inhale, lift back up into your locust. See how it feels, really strengthening the back of your body while lengthening the front. And then exhale, release back down, rest your chin to the opposite side, take a breath. We'll do this one more time. This next one I'll give you a chance to hold it for a bit longer, say about three or four breaths. So you can choose how long to stay. Inhale, lift back up. Maybe see if you can lift your arms and legs a little higher. Sometimes lifting the legs as much is a bigger challenge than lifting the chest. But just breathe into your locust. If you want to stay here a little longer, feel free to do so. Whenever you're ready, take another breath in. And then exhale, release, lower back down, rest your chin again, this time to the opposite side. And just take a couple breaths here, let yourself relax. Just let yourself be. And then from here, we'll bring your hands forward, press back through your tabletop. Take your knees out about as wide as your mat, and sink your seat to your heels for a wide knee child's pose, stretching your arms out in front. So really see if you feel a release in your back here. We're going to take about 5 breaths here. And breathe in, breathe out. Returning back to that intention, perhaps, that you would set for your practice, taking this time out for you. Notice if you already feel a little release in your back. And as you're ready, inhale, come back up through your tabletop. From here, you can just slide your feet over to one side. We're actually going to kind of pass through a seat here, but come to lie on your back. Now, as you come to lie on your back, you want to grab a few things. So, grab your block if you have one, or whatever you're using in place of a block. So we can use that. The blanket's kind of optional here, but definitely try to have your block available. And with your knees bent in front of you and your feet on the floor, we're just going to slowly lower all the way down onto your back. And take a moment when you get there, just kind of let your back relax into the floor. And then from here, we'll just take your arms out to a T shape. Slide your hips just a tiny bit over to the left, and slide your knees over to the right. You might take a hand to your top knee if you find that helpful to you. And then just begin to turn your gaze to look out over your shoulder. Perhaps you look out over your left shoulder, if that feels good to you. If it doesn't, you can just look up at the ceiling. Just settling into a little reclined twist. And we're going to take about 3 or 4 breaths here and just pause for a moment. It makes it feel really nice on your spine, as well as just being overall good for cleansing and digestion, things like that. So just take this time to relax. Let yourself settle in here for your reclined twist. From here, we'll bring your knees back to center. Keep your arms at a T and just slide your hips a little bit over to the right as you send your knees over to the left and set up for the other side. Taking a hand, maybe take a hand to the top knee if you find that helpful. That's completely optional. And then if it feels okay to you, if it feels good to you, then maybe look out over your right shoulder at this time. Now, if you find that there's a lot of space between your shoulder and the floor, you can always grab your blanket and slide that underneath your shoulder to kind of close out that space. Either way, just relax here. About 3 or 4 more breaths. Just let yourself gently sink into the floor, let everything else go, and just find this quiet space for you. Take your arms to the side palms facing down. Check that your knees are over your ankles. And from here, press your feet into the floor. Inhale, lift up into bridge, lifting your lower, mid, and upper back. Pause at the top for a moment here. Let your back bend. And then exhale, one vertebrae at a time, lower down, upper, mid, and lower back. Slide your knees a little from side to side. Keep it loose. Come back to center. Let's do that again. Inhale, lift up. A little bit at a time. And pause here. If you want, you can clasp your hands underneath you, walking your shoulder blades closer together, or maybe lift your heels up, coming onto your toes. We'll just take another breath or two here. Exhale, release, lower down, upper, mid, and lower back. We're going to move into one more bridge. This is where you're going to grab your block or a stack of books or whatever you have to work with. So just get creative with this. So you're going to press down to your feet, lift your hips up once again, and just slide that block. You can start on your lowest height for the block, right underneath your sacrum. It's the very lowermost part of your spine. And then once you get it positioned, it might take you a minute to do so. Then just relax into it here, into our supported bridge. Shoulders relax down. And just rest in this pose. So one of my favorite poses for if I'm having some lower back pain, stuff like that. This can feel really good. Just kind of feel release here. Let your body relax, knowing that the block is supporting you in the pose. Now, if you're someone who's really into bridge pose, you have a lot of experience with it, and you know that you really like back bends, you could optionally, very carefully choose to take the block onto a higher height and then reposition it under your sacrum. Just make sure that it feels okay. Make sure that there isn't, that nothing feels off or painful anyway here. So sometimes that can be an option as well. We'll take about 3 more breaths here. You can just take this time, come back to your intention, come back to your breath, see if you can feel release in your back or any other areas in your body. And supported bridge pose. And then from here, press your feet against the floor. Inhale, lift your hips up just a little bit at a time, just enough to slide that block off to the side. And then gently, one vertebrae at a time, lower back down, lower your hips down to the floor. And when you get there, just give your knees a little hug in towards your chest. You can rock a little from side to side here if you want. That's what I like to do, just kind of using the floor almost to feel a little gentle massage in your spine. Release any pressure there. Just let it feel good. We'll take a few more moments here. Just take this time. Give yourself a little hug. Give yourself a little support. And then as you're ready, lower your feet down to the floor. Stretch your legs out in front of you. Stretch your arms out towards the wall behind you, and just stretch your body long into a full body stretch. Really reach your fingertips back, reach your feet forward. Notice any sensations you might be feeling in your body here. So take one more deep breath in through your nose. And exhale a big sigh out through your mouth as you release your arms down to the side and make any movements here, adjustments to get comfortable for Shavasana or corpse pose. So if you feel any tension in your back here, of course, honor that in yourself. You might take if you have a bolster, you can use that, or you can take your blanket and just maybe if you have one like this, you can just unfold it once. And just kind of get creative working with it, and just take the long end, roll it up, kind of create yourself a little blanket roll up here that you can slide underneath your knees here to kind of help support you so that you're unlocking some of the tension you might otherwise feel in your spine. And then just let your arms relax down towards the floor, let your shoulders relax down. Let your whole back of your body rest here into the floor. Your eyes gently close. Come back to your natural breath. And just really try to release any lingering physical efforts or tensions in your body. Try to let that all go. And just take this time to relax into Shavasana, into corpse pose, just kind of releasing, letting die, letting go anything that isn't serving you. Right. Maybe it's any tension or worry or anxiety, maybe pressure that we're storing in the mind and body. Just try to let that release and just trust that everything will be as it should. Things will be okay eventually, and just kind of let yourself settle into this place of calmness for Shavasana. I'm going to invite you to stay here for another really 5 to 10 minutes. You might again use your phone or something, set just a gentle timer to let you know, and you can pause the video at this time to take this time for Shavasana, which I really do emphasize is important. I encourage you to do that. If you haven't already, you can put something warmer on, like some socks or a jacket if you feel cold. And just take a few moments here. And then if you haven't already, take a few moments to pause the video. Really take that time to give yourself a good full Shavasana practice. It's just as important, if not more, than any other poses that we do on the mat. And then once you've come back, hopefully you pause the video and take in at least 5 minutes, if not longer, for Shavasana practice. And then from here, coming back, eventually you'll bring your knees in towards your chest and gently roll over to one side, most likely your right side, for fetal pose. Carve out and claim the time to care for yourself and to kindle your own fire. Amy Ippoliti. And then to mindfully start to make your way back up to your seat. And just take a brief moment here of gratitude towards yourself for coming to this practice, taking this time out to maybe release any back pain you might have been holding on to, maybe learned a few things you can do for yourself. Just taking this time out to slow down, check in with your breath, and take care of your body and mind. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope to see you back again. Take really good care of yourself. Namaste.